interrupted. Thank you so much. And again, enjoy, and then of course, Sil, take it over. Thank you.
Sure. Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome. So hi, I'm Magic. Been around since March 2021. I founded a guild with a couple of my buddies, and we've been like breeding and whatever ever since. Um, yeah, all of us founders of that guild started playing competitively, and like one way or another, when I wanted to go like content creation and like community building, I put myself out. I signed up with CTG, and yeah, right now I'm part of the semi-pro lineup. Soon, maybe part of the esports too. Uh, yeah, it's kind of hard to balance all that stuff together. But we're here now, trying to build like a decent following on Twitter or whatever, and at the same time balancing like trying to be a little bit competitive. Um, MMR is not so impressive right now, so don't judge. Yeah, this is the same team that I used in season 19. Uh, Not really much. I mean, I got to like 4,000 or something, but still wasn't able to hit the top 1K. Um, yeah, so I'm using a double bug Pocky Aqua lineup. This is probably the lineup that I use because it's the cheapest. I bred this bug since before. I bought this bug for pretty cheap and the Aqua for pretty cheap, so I thought like might as well run a team like that. This is not my own build. I am part of Elijah's like Axie Academy Meditate, and like once you buy that pass, it like gives you like free access to all of the stuff they do, and it like they have a private chat for us in the Discord and stuff. So yeah, this is one of the builds that 1437 like thought up and made. So yeah, decided to run it because I thought it was cool. um I think that in the previous season, a lot of the lineups had backdoors. You had mechs with like the juggling balls and sea raid, and then you had shrimp aquas. Well, of course, Dark Swoop birds, but like mostly everything was targeted backdoor. So the reason why I chose this build was because I figured if I could play smart, discard the cards when they really need it, then it kind of makes my aqua immune to the backdoors. Like, I mean, most of the time. And this is not like the most optimized build yet. So yes, like against birds in the 1v1 that get to save up enough energy. I guess against like triple aqua lineups. Before I started struggling with the double anemone bird lineups, but like now because they got pretty heavily nerfed, I don't mind like win some lose some, but before it was like a huge like just a loss streak if I went through like a lot of the double anemones. Um, but yeah, aside from that, it can duke up pretty much against any other build. It does really well against like the double plant birds. Could hold off against the plant, the shrimp or aqua, and the mech backliner. Plant beast bird could do pretty well, but like all, I think that the strength of this build is that like it's pretty all around. Like even with matchups that you have a disadvantage with, if you time the cards right, and if you know, get to discard what they need to, you know, take down your bug or like execute a combo. Yeah, I think it's a pretty well balanced build. Although, speaking honestly, this is not like for someone new. Like compared to if you were a new scholar and your manager gave you like a double anemone build, right? It's a no-brainer. It doesn't really take much strategy. You just heal up because you're faster most of the time. But this one, it's especially tough because like once you get up to like the higher MMRs, a lot of gameplay really is being able to count your opponent's energy and cards. And the difficulty with this build is that you can't really count the cards. You don't know what you discard; it doesn't show. Um, and so like you're really like playing in the dark with what did he draw in the next round, or does this person have the combo? But like over at CTG, we just like get used to it and say, you know, if he has it, he has it. So you know, sometimes you just have to make a degenerate play and hope he doesn't have any cards. But there are a lot of tells, so hopefully later we get to walk through that. Yeah.
Magic,
So
your lineup is
yeah,
actually
go ahead.
targeted in this season balancing. So I think Sunder was the one targeted in your lineup. So how much did it affect your gameplay, honestly?
Honestly, it didn't. Like the only real nerf was like you had to combo this with another card. But then again, I mean, at least with how I play it, 99% of the time, I never just use Thunderclaw or just use Parasite. Like the thing with bugs is that so your opponent has to always think when they attack you, right? Um, they have to think like, especially with the frontliner bug, they have to think: does he have sticky goo? Does he have snail shell? Does he have both? So it's very annoying to play against, and a lot of the times you do get away with passing. And since bugs have like the higher tier of morale, they always go in 3 bars of last stand. So aside from having to hit like destroy the bug after getting stunned a couple of times, um, you also have to deal with 3 bars of last stand. So I mean, personally, I think this build still rocks. I mean, I might get a new team for the next season, but until I can see like what happens for the like the hard. So all right, let me share this. Sorry, it's so low budget, but I made this thing. Um, it's what I think was like the best parts to look out for. I did a little bit of analysis and comments on it. I mean, this is on my Twitter, but I can share this with you guys. What I think that they might still change. So for those of you that don't know, this balancing patch is still like a soft balancing. They will still try to test it out, see how the players feel about it, and then they're going to release like the official one maybe towards closer the start of the season. So, you know, if enough of you say, yo, Jihos, the anemone was too much, you know, maybe they could reconsider and like rework it, right? So if you look over here, I prioritize the bug over here because I mean, I felt like it wasn't much of a difference. Yes, 10 shield reduction from Parasite. I mean, damage reduction from Parasite. Um, and then you got the 10 shield from Anesthetic Bait. So, like, less damage, less shield. But the composition really isn't about how much damage or how much shield you put up. It's really like destroying your opponent's cards and being really annoying about it. Um, this for me is not really a big nerf at all, and yeah, I think I still rock the leaderboards ish. What else? So yeah, like the Aqua's Pocky and Sugar Rush did get a little bit of a nerf, but with how they recalculated the skill, it does relatively the same amount of damage to like plants, reptiles, dusks. It does 177 versus 179. Against beasts, it used to do 155 and now it does 150. So it's not really game-changing, game-breaking changes on my part. Although if I did go into the next season with the same build, I could choose to upgrade with the koi instead of the goldfish. I feel that's where I lose most of my matches against birds that pass around and then the next round do like a sick 4 burst. But those of you guys that are thinking about buying new axes, I think you should be looking at these skills. I think the 10 damage from Catfish is going to be big. I think that since bugs didn't really get nerfed that much, in my opinion, and then you got that sick Caterpillar's buff with like plus 20 to the stats, I think that Catfish will be like a pretty good counter to it. Potato Leaf now does more damage, so it becomes more viable as a choice between going either Potato Leaf or Hot Butt, right? So now Potato Leaf has the same amount of damage and more shield than Hot Butt. It doesn't disable the mouth cards, but like as a standalone card, this could be pretty useful. Feather Fan, now more offensive card. This, like, you probably never see this because like no one really wants to shield up a bird. But now that you get like 80 damage and 50 shield, it's like a little bit of getting the best of both worlds. I still prefer the 4090, but I think that the next season's meta is going to include more of the Feather Fan. The rest of the bird cards just got like insane buffs. Like Trump now does 125, so you definitely might see some Trump builds come out. Cloud now does 110, so it's more similar to the other high damage bird cards. Hungry Bird now at 120. So you're going to see that a lot of the bird cards are going to be like 120 damage and 30 shield. Raven also now does 120. And then Rice is just like something to look out for because out of everything else, this is one of the only ones that had like a 20 stat bonus buff. Also, like just the same with Caterpillars. So we might see more of the Caterpillars and the Rice builds. Timber is one to look out for because it's the highest stat like combo in the game. 90 damage, 80 shield, similar to Caterpillars, which does 110 and 60 shield. But the thing with Timber is that if you deal damage to plants, like it increases your shield. So this becomes extra annoying. Like if you had, let's say, an Aqua with Timber, instead of Shipwreck or instead of like a speed up, this makes non-speed up Aquas like a viable midliner if they had Timber and they were like seeing the increase of shield and like just the base of 90 damage and 80 shield. Like that's just like a sick combo, right? Gila is close second. Now it's 165. So now it has 65 shield, which I think is pretty sick. I see less of the critical escape, definitely less of the scale dart reptiles, definitely less of the jar barrage ones, and you might see more of the Gila. So what does this mean? If people start using Gila, which applies attack minus to poison targets, we might see more of the yam plants back again, since like pretty much everyone wants to use cattail or everyone wants to use hot butt. So now like yam plants might come back into fashion and people might use Gila more. Very annoying, similar to Peacemaker, the mouth part and the bird. This gives the attack minus debuff. And what a lot of people don't realize, I guess, is that you can stack this pretty hard. So I imagine if you were running something like an Aqua with or Bird with Peacemaker, and then you had a mid Reptile with Gila, and then you had a plant with Yam, like that would be so sick. You will be able to prevent a lot of damage coming your way, even if like your opponent you were up against like a beast, right? You manage to smack him with like a Peacemaker and like a double Gila or something like that, it does 60% less damage. So that's really something I think it's going to be a lot more prevalent this season. And like, I mean, Tiny Dino is already like a pretty sick skill, and they just added 5 damage to it. So I believe after round 5, with the current skill calculation, this does 169 damage to Aquas. And like, use 2 of this, that's 80 shield, maybe close to 100 shield with this, the skill bonus applied. And then you do like what is that? 338 damage to Aqua. So you just need like to do a double Tiny Dino and another like Incisor or another Reptile skill, and then you can clear an Aqua. So that's pretty sick. Um, I guess if we're going to build, yeah, Immortal Plants got nerfed. Biden's Hotbutt, Cactus, Zigzag, all of those skills got nerfed, so you'll see less of those guys on, which I think it's cool. But this is like a balance to having Scarab now a debuff, which Biden's can clear. So heavily nerfing the Immortal Plant and then putting up Scarab as a debuff is kind of like a balance. So I think that's fair. Dark Swoop Birds with Egg Bomb Blackmail, like these were like almost all scholarships would have at least one of this. Like they have hundreds, maybe thousands of the Dark Swoop with the Egg Bomb and the Blackmail. So this combo won't kill an unshielded Aqua anymore. You're going to need skills like Kestrel, Trump, or the other 120 plus damage cards, because Egg Bomb now only does 110. So with the reduction of Dark Swoop to 10 damage and the Egg Bomb 110, I believe if you do Dark Swoop, Egg Bomb, and double Blackmail, your pure Aqua survives at around 16 health. So yeah, you're going to need another skill to combo with the Dark Swoop Blackmail. So I think like we might see more of the other cards. Yes, we're seeing a lot more shields going up, a lot more buffs to shields. So I think that backdoors will be less meta. Like it's going to be less annoying if your opponent draws the backdoor combo in round 1 or 2, and that's when you draw your combo too, right? So we might see less of that. I guess more backliners with like beefier shields and like maybe catfish, to help them stay alive. So we might see more of that. Yeah, and now birds are more versatile, right? Like everyone knows that birds are just like glass cannons. Fast, they do a lot of damage, they can do the backdoor. But now you're able to play birds with Feather Fan, and like now generally birds have more shield on their 120 plus damage cards. So we might see like less of the Dark Swoops and more of like battle birds, right? Like off DPS kind of birds that will survive in a 1v1 against an Aqua, even if the Aqua gets a speed up. So that's gonna be cool. Yeah, and then Aqua's just doing less damage overall. So they did get the buff with the Shipwreck, 70 damage and 95 shield. But I think this is going to get reworked. Like this is just too insane. But yeah, I mean, then again, if you see the Aqua skills now, most of them do like 110, 115 damage, and then they do like 15 to 25 shield. So since Aquas were always considered the jack of all trades, I do agree with this, with like lowering their damage a little bit compared to birds, and giving them like a little less shield, because like they can do everything, right? They can do energy gain, they can do speed ups, and just like jack of all trades kind of stuff. So being balanced, I do agree with this. Sorry for you double, triple aqua users out there. uh, they also tweaked the critical maximum damage to 200%, which is kind of weird because Dual Blade already does that. So I think Dual Blade will get a rework, or they will rework the crit calculation. Um, we might see Dual Blade back to 250% damage. So I'm looking forward to that because Dual Blade is my favorite skill. And I think the skill calculation is relatively the same. Mechs will still be disgusting with the juggling balls and the twin tail combos. The thing that I noticed though is that like if before, for example, if I would attack with my bug doing like parasite, right, which does let's say 80 damage, and I'm hitting into um, a bird or an aqua, because of the previous skill calculation, my bug would actually still do like 86, 87 damage, which is kind of weird because as we all know, right, like the rock, paper, scissors element of it, the bugs and beasts are supposed to do less damage against birds and aquas, and it was still doing a lot. So that's something I noticed though now. If a bug or beast attacks a bird or aqua, you will probably see that they actually do the amount of damage that it says on the card. So right now, like my parasite does 80 damage. I know it's easier to calculate. So maybe for the newer players, this might be something that helps. Yeah, and that's my take on what this might be. I think that this will still get reworked because it's a soft balancing, right? But pretty much everything else that everyone's crying about, like the Dark Swoop, the Gravelant, the Scarab, like not really a big thing in my opinion. I think they did a pretty good job balancing that. The only thing is just a Shipwreck. I think Shipwreck is going to be broken because of the stats. Where is that? Shipwreck, yeah, at 165 with already the attack plus, so that might get reworked. Hope I got your question. I can share this sheet if you guys want. I mean, I don't care.
About the forest spirit, the hill one. Do you think there's gonna be
Say that again.
do you think there's gonna be a composition that's gonna be generated around it? The forest whisper, I think, the one with the hill on the
Ooh,
mountainside.
forest spirit, yeah, definitely. So, right, like before, if you wanted to run a heal plant, you had to have one with like rosebud or shiitake, which means like if you use a rosebud, then guarantee that you're not doing much damage because most of the plant damage cards are on the horn. Wood stab, cactus, even bamboo shoot, right? So if you run with rosebud, you're going less with the offense. And then if you run with shiitake, which is the back part, you're saying goodbye to October Tree, Bone Sale. What else are the other plant cards? But yeah, like essentially like less damage. So, sorry, less shield. So like I think the more efficient heal plants would have been like a Rosebud with like an October Tree or a high shield back card. But now that you have Forest Spirit there, like not only are plants going to be more viable as like a frontliner, but also as a mid. So we might see more formations that are linear. You know how you usually see, um, like for example, this one. This is like the most basic, like the standard formation that you always see, right? But with the forest spirit thing coming in, we might see more stuff like this. I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, but the troll build in like the top, I'd say top 1K would be the triple plant with all yams and Sirius. So yeah, it's already a thing. Triple plants are a thing. But we might see more of the forest spirit guys do this. But at the same time, like you could even run like the Indes lineup, right? Like I think he was doing before Strawberry Shortcake and Nemo. You could do something like that with Forest Spirit, and if you were running like an off tank middle or front with like Forest Spirit, and it still has something like Wood Stab and I don't know Sandal and Yam or something. You know, you've got a pretty decent all around Axie that um, it's going to be harder to kill. So that would be like you get more value from it, right? Especially if you ran it with something like a Yam. So my like big brain pick would be something like that, like a Forest Spirit plant up front with like I don't know Bone Sail or like Sandal. Yam definitely midliner, something with Gila, and then backliner maybe something with Peacemaker, and just like make it all the more annoying. I don't know, but definitely Forest Spirit I think is going to be pretty sick now that they made it that you don't have to have someone in front to heal. It's a one cost card. Um, yeah, so that's 120 heal, 40 shield, one cost card. Not so bad. Although personally, like if you ask me, I would like to highlight that Mosquito didn't get a debuff. I think they missed that. I think Mosquito is like an extremely imbalanced skill. So yeah, look out for that, guys. Mosquito's the tits.
Thanks, Magic, for sharing
Uh,
a lot of things
yeah,
that
sure.
have changed in the patch notes, and it was really helpful to have a quick rundown about it. I think this is the first time we had a rundown about the patch notes, and it was really helpful for our participants for sure. I think we can already
Oh,
proceed with playing arena games if you would mind. Or
right.
are you planning to share something else aside from the patch notes that we had?
Oh, you know what? I guess I mean while we're here, I've done this like two times before, and I'm never sure like are the guys who watch like the same people? Am I talking to the same people, or like is this um like a new group?
I think there are pretty much new people, but there are also a lot of returning people as well that would love to hear you again once again.
Well, I mean, I guess since I'm going to imagine that all of you are new and have never heard me speak before. So like uh, this time around, I want to run it like this next part will be stuff I wish that I knew before I started, so that like if I let you guys in on this, it like kind of like improves your game. I hope. Um, So yeah, I guess the first thing that I want to discuss is like tilt management, right? Tilt is like poker slang for like playing with emotions. Um, like especially after you've been like through a bad beat, which is like a lost streak, right? So we all go through lost streaks. I remember before like I streamed 40 energy, and then I lost 35 games, right? So like during the stream, I deleted it so you guys will never see it again. But yeah, so like I lost 35 games on stream, and then when I reviewed my games, I realized that yeah, I was playing like trash because I was letting it affect me. That why the fuck am I losing this much? Um, so yeah, like what's important is first and foremost, I think tilt management. I'm guessing that this is a strategy of like all the pro players. You cannot play this game like with emotions if you wanted to like super succeed and go far in the leaderboards. So how I personally do that, right? I put myself on a stop loss, right? If I lose, I tell myself my stop loss is at 5 games. If I lose 5 games, I will literally stop playing, go do something else for like 30 minutes or an hour, or like just like get my mind off the game. I don't want to think about anything Axie for like 30 minutes to an hour. And then I go back and play again. Um, this has been especially useful for me because I'm always coming to play the game like super fresh. Excuse me. Um, I'm pretty much guaranteed that I'm not playing with emotions like in my span of like 10 games. So yeah, like I don't let any of my previous five straight losses affect my next few games, right? So I think that that's something that for you guys that are aspiring to, put the work in, grind, and climb the leaderboards, that's going to be super essential for you. You could put your stop loss at like 10 games or like 3 games. If you get a 10 loss streak, that's when you stop. You could do it like that too. But I like personally for me, especially when managing like 60 energy during the season, it's like you pretty much dedicate your whole day to playing, and yeah, it's just you got to give yourself breaks. So
Uh,
like with that, I want to branch into also like number 2, using your battle log. For those of you that don't know, this is the one, right? This is so important. Like I before, like way back, I never really saw the point. Like, why am I gonna watch my previous games? But like guys, I guarantee you, if you watch all your previous games, right? Like look at that garbage. But like if you watch all your previous games, especially the ones that you lost at, you really will be able to track um, which turns you went wrong. So for my guild, what we do is whenever I'm on and someone asks for coaching, um, we usually do like run 2 games and then you run 1 replay, or you run a game, run a replay, run a game, run a replay. And then when I'm discussing during the replay, um, I'm telling the one that I'm coaching, I know for a fact that during this round you forgot the energy count because you played these cards and you didn't know what to do. So it's times like that when you sort of like catch yourself, right? So okay, it's when this happened. It's because he used this guy's and vegetal bite and um like all different sorts of like energy gain and energy steal, and that's where you lose track. It is hard, especially if you are in the mode of like counting your opponent's cards, memorizing what they played in the previous round, managing your own energy, managing your own cards, counting your opponent's energy. So it gets kind of jumbled up. It's very hard. Like Axie is first and foremost like a memory game. So if you can memorize exactly how much energy your opponent has and exactly which cards they played before, like chances are you'd have a higher win rate. But yeah, so like going back to my point, like I always use the battle log um to catch myself. Like, okay, now I know this is the turn where I wasn't counting energy. And why did that happen? It's because you played these cards and stuff like that. Managing all of that within the 30-second time frame gets pretty tough. So guys, use the battle log. It's super useful. Watch the games where you lost. But also at the same time, like at the flip side, you know, battle logs always help me like boost my own morale too. Because like when I watch a game and I know I played it perfectly, and then I see it's just because my opponent drew like those cards in those, played it in that order. If I know that I did my absolute best in counting the energy, counting the cards, and I knew exactly what he had in his hand or stuff like that, then I don't count it as a personal loss. Yeah, fine. Like my MMR went down and I wasted like an energy. I could have gained SLP, but like on my book, like that wasn't a loss. So like going back to like tilt management, when I rewatch the games, it's like okay, this isn't a loss, so I'm only on like my fourth loss really. But yeah, so please use your battle logs, guys. It's super useful. It will really help you like improve your game. um and then I guess last as like the third and final point, which I think that a lot of the content creators, I mean, at least the ones that I watch, don't really talk about this. And because I'm smart as shit, like I'm sharing this with you guys. Um, the game is an algorithm, right? So it's all about algorithm management. What that means is like in the span of a week, let's say there's this computer that tells you, okay, this person has an average 50% win rate. So on Monday and on Wednesday, I'm gonna make him win like 80% of his games. But then I'm also going to need to make him lose like 70% of his games on Tuesday and Friday. And then I'm gonna make him like win steadily throughout, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you apply that knowledge, right? Like it's not Jiho who's like programming the crits and someone else doing cheats and stuff like that. The game is just an algorithm. There's always a healthy correction. So um, you will notice that some days it's like, what the hell is happening? I can't lose. Like no matter what I do, no matter how horribly I play, like I just get the cards. I get the cards I need. My opponent doesn't get anything. I get to hit at the perfect times when they pass, stuff like that. Like that's the time when you're on an up curve, like upswing, right? So number one, like when you're on that, you also have to manage your expectations that 9 times out of 10, the next day it's going to be like heavy loss. Um, it's just going to be like, 4 losses, 1 win, 3 losses, 1 win. And, it might, if you put a stop loss on yourself at like 5 losses, it might just like recognize that and just like make you lose 4 times, make you win once, make you lose 3 times, make you win twice. It's going to try to balance. So with that knowledge that the game is basically just an algorithm, if you want to beat that algorithm, you have to be more conscious of your own win rate, right? So like as a little homework for those of you that want to do it, try to see how many games you win in a day versus how much energy you have, and then you plot that out in like a graph of like a week, and then you try to plot it out in a graph of like a month, and then you're going to see like, I mean, aside from getting your weekly average or your like monthly average, you're going to see that if you are like constantly learning, constantly trying to improve your game, over time, that graph is like going to go like up and down, up and down, up and down. But if you like expand that graph, you're going to see that if you do the work, your win rate is actually like a straight line going up. So again, like this ties in with like tilt management, like the algorithm management that I'm saying. There will be days that you just like can't lose, and there can be days where there's nothing you can do right. Like you played it perfectly, you counted the energy and stuff like that, but like the the game will always give your opponent better cards, or they won't give you, for in my case, like they won't give me the fish snack, or they won't give me the Nemo when I need it, right? So like with those three concepts, aside from the fact that you have to count your energy, you have to count the cards, stuff like that, but tilt management, using the battle log, and algorithm management, these three things I feel that would really help if you do decide to take it seriously. I try my best to apply these concepts to myself. I know that the tilt management is still like, it's a work in progress. I mean, yeah, like I'm not perfectly following it. Like sometimes I just like keep on playing the 10 games, even if I already hit my stop loss. But yeah, I believe that if you have the discipline to apply these things to yourself, that you will definitely like improve your game by far. That's how the top people do it in the leaderboard. Yeah, in their own way or not. So I hope you guys really do apply this. I mean, I know now I heard that I heard Sedano say it in the the Managers Cup that you guys now have like an esports thing going on. Like, for those of you that are part of the YGG community, shoot for the esports, man. That's cool. You get like, what do you get? Like Axes and like, I don't know, more SLP. I don't know. But yeah, um, yeah. So just like those three things I want to leave with you guys. Hope it improves your like knowledge or like understanding of how the game works, and go on much of a loss streak so much. Is
Magic,
that
I have a
good?
question there.
Yeah, sure.
When you're counting your cut loss, is it 5 continuous loss, or you just count your loss regardless if you're just alternating win loss?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, like that's what I set it at. If I do a 5 loss streak, I just like close the game. But like that's really up to you, I guess, how to manage that if you want. I would suggest though, try the five first. Like it depends on your tolerance for tilt. Like you could do the 10 loss if you have like 60 energy and you just want to get it over with. Um, but yeah, like I think like stopping at five. I mean, starting at five would probably be like a good way to go. Um, and then like you gauge it from there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Magic, for sharing those things. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time you have discussed this, right? About tilt management, about field management, and
Honestly, I don't
the
remember.
balance.
So, like, great. If it's the first time, great. If it's not, I'm sorry to the ones that I repeated this to.
Yeah, but I think it's really helpful. I think one of the things that is really underrated in playing Axie is playing with your emotions at the highest peak. You really just surrender immediately or just give up even on round 1 or round 2, and you don't even think about it anymore if you're really tilted. So I really do agree that you need to play with the clearest version of your mind, so that
Yeah, yeah,
your
yeah,
decision
definitely.
making doesn't get affected as well.
And I mean, like, I think I decided to say this because, like, on Twitter, like, I see these guys, like, they start posting like actually was too much for them. Like they get too stressed, or they like get depressed or anxious or stuff like that. And like I think these people are forgetting to remember that like Axie is just a game. It shouldn't like take like control so much of your life and stuff. Like yeah, I know you want to be great, but like I mean I'm just guessing that these people that I see on Twitter, they don't do these things. They don't understand that it's like just algorithm, bro. Nothing personal. It's just like managing your tilt, bro. So yeah, like I mean, I guess that's also another thing that everyone here should understand. It's like um I understand it is stressful. There are days where like this game is just being a bitch. But like keep in mind again, it is just a game. So like don't burn yourself out. I know that if you were a scholar and you're trying to make money and trying to make the most out of it, right? Um, it's a lot of pressure, but like at the same time, like gotta just take it easy.
Yeah, I do agree with that, Magic.
Um,
Actually, I
yeah,
had a bad lose streak this week, and it really tilted me so much that I just stopped playing for 2 days. Just to get back to
yeah.
the tracks again. Because if I continue playing and I continue playing on a bad streak, I think it would be really insane on my end. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. I also do that. Don't worry about it. I also take like days off.
Guys, if you have any questions for Magic as well, you can comment it down on the English voice text. Magic is here for tonight and he's sharing his knowledge. And if you have a lot of questions for him, please drop it now since he is still here and he's gonna answer everything, I think. And yeah, I think Magic
Yeah,
is really
sure.
knowledgeable on Axie and how to play, and it's really a good opportunity for everyone to ask their questions right now. So just hit it up, guys.
Any one of you guys do the releasing? You guys have like spare axes that you throw in there? I got garbage, bro. I burned 10 and then I was like, this isn't going nowhere.
How does the Lunarian Express work, Magic? Once you release the Axie, does it automatically give you the item already, or do you need to wait for it for some time?
All right. Here, let's like just show everyone like what happened. All right, so like this, for those of you that don't know, this is like the way to release your axes, right? So every Axie that you release, you get one Lunar New Year item, which is supposed to be like rare, and it gives you like a raffle entry to win like the special prizes, right? So yeah, you can get these items. They all get released after this. Like, so on the 20th, that's when you get your items. So you release an Axie, you choose which one. You see, like, I only have 6 on mine now because, like, I let go of like 10 of them. But yeah, and then you click this, and then it goes on an adventure, and then you see your stuff here. So as you can see, I got garbage. I didn't even get a lucky lantern, nor did I get the Crimson Tiger. I wanted the Crimson Tiger. But yeah, you get these stuff. I think that I don't know. Like my personal take on it is like if you don't have land, you like unless you were going to flip these things, it's not really worth it, especially if you just do it like 1 or 2 times. I mean, unless you got extremely lucky and got the Crimson Tiger off the get-go. But like, if you just wanted to try it out because you were FOMOing in and like saw people were doing it, but you don't have that much resources, I honestly would not recommend it. But like NFA, DYOR, and all that stuff. But like, yeah, as you can see here, I mean, I do have a plot of land, but like I didn't get anything cool. These are just commons. So yeah, might as well save your axes for something else. I think like if I were to recommend to you and you didn't have that much stuff, don't bother with it. It's like gambling. And then yeah, so like, but like on the flip side, you know, if you didn't get anything good here, you could get one of these things. So yeah, every Axie that you burn again is like one item plus one raffle entry. 100 winners in raffle 3 with a coin gecko or the Ganbaro Krypton. I believe this item is already here. So if we look at line items and we search Ganbaro Krypton, look at the floor price of that. This is pretty expensive, I believe. Mount. This should be like a. I think this is an epic item that's already here. Come on. Maybe if we do this. Crap, whatever. It's worth a lot. I think CoinGecko is already also an item. This Kitsune, I don't know, but these are the most valuable. I believe, an AOC token is something you can exchange for an Origin Axie. I think. Not like, don't quote me on that, but yeah, these are like, imagine getting 5 Origin Axies. Origin Axies right now, floors are at like 2.2, 2.3. Well, you can search it later because it's being a bitch right now. But yeah, so that's what you can get off this. But yeah, then again, don't do it if you don't have a lot of stuff. Also, like a little bit of like what we were discussing in our group earlier, right? If you compare how many, oh come on, it's not working. Oh, there you go. Right? If you compare how many land items there are with this, right? So for example, we go with items and we were looking at common ones from the forest, right? If you look at the floor here, 0.021, this is about, is it $60 or something? And we just assume that it's going to be the same price, then like you could argue that each of the that each of these items, the common items on the forest common items, they might be worth the same, right? But what is that? Uh, what is that like? What determines that value, right? We still don't know because if you look at, for example, what is this? The flower of stamina. Flower of stamina. Damn it. Anyway, I did this before. I just wanted to show you guys, but this is, I believe there are around 1,000 flowers of stamina in the market, right? So I imagine in my head that since the assorted firecrackers are the most common of all these items, this is probably going to be like similar to what the floor is. The thing is, imagine that there are, I believe that it was like 35%. 35% of the 35% of the people who release Axies will get like assorted firecrackers. So if we do like a very, very, very quick math, with the current state of things at 37,621, and then 35% of that, there are already 13,000. There could be 13,000 firecrackers. Which, if you look at the supply of those 13,000 firecrackers and the and the 1,000 of the flowers of stamina, right? It doesn't make sense that the value of the firecrackers are going to be 0.02 or close to the floor of this. They're going to be way more than that. So it's going to be definitely, like, if you do the math, going to be, well, 13 times more the supply, which means that they're going to be way cheaper than the flower of stamina. So again, like with that train of thought, and you know, this number is only going to go up because there's so many degenerates in the world. Looking at the price, the supply of the firecrackers versus the supply of the flower of stamina, it just doesn't make sense from like an investor's perspective to burn an Axie whose current floor right now should be around $60, $50. What's the floor now?
I think it's 0.18. It's the cheapest right now on the market. 0.018. Sorry.
Yeah, like there. So right, I mean, NFA, DYOR, and everything. But if you ask my personal opinion on it, I don't think it's worth burning the $61 if, you know, 35% of the chance you're going to draw the firecracker. Then again, you know, you could be a degenerate, you could be lucky and score the Crimson Tiger, you know, and from $60 you turn that into like $12,000 overnight. Could be. But for the average player that, you know, will just try this once or twice, in my opinion, you're probably like burning your money. So I wouldn't recommend it unless you had like an oversupply or you wanted to choose, like, you know, take a shot at the Crimson Tiger. So there are more efficient ways to you know, funnel your spare stuff. Scholarship, sell it on the marketplace, you know, convert your SLP into RON liquidity pool farming, stuff like that. So there will be better ways for you to spend your money. So don't do it here yet. Yeah. So that's my take on that.
Magic, I think I just have to ask this. How do you do the liquidity for the RON? If I'm not mistaken, you need both wet and SLP in equal value, right? So you stake it at some point, then you gain RON. Am I correct or no?
Cool. Do we do? I mean, I could also do like a quick run through on how to do this, but I'm not gonna show you how much I made. Okay. So, all right, let's do a quick like brush up on what, like, let's say you were a scholar, right? And you were just collecting your SLP, assuming that you had like a certain amount that you didn't have to use for your daily stuff, right? Let's say you wanted to invest some of this. What do you do? So first you go on to katana.roninchain.com and then you're going to see this. So your Katana lets you swap your assets into whatever other token is in the Ronin universe, right? So like looking forward like into the way future, right? So imagine if other games come on the Ronin chain, and then you're able to do your SLP for what your total is in that other game, right? I believe that's the grand goal of Sky Mavis is to be able to include your Axies or your Axie assets into other games that they onboard in the chain. So like holding your SLP for whatever reason, maybe converting it into future resources or assets could be your play. Um, but like in my personal opinion, you might as well put your money to work, right? Instead of waiting for SLP to pump back up to whatever value you think is worth selling at, I think you should just put it here and make some money, right? But guys, again, NFA, DYOR, this is also a gamble. So I wouldn't want to tell you like where to put your money, but this is just an avenue where you can put your money, right? So SLP, right? This is like the base currency, which I think we all have. And then you would want to convert it to WEF. Now, if you do Katana like on the Ronin chain, right? And you wanted to go into the liquidity pool, you will need an equal amount of SLP and WEF. Unfortunately, I don't have any SLP anymore. Give me a sec. Right. So yeah, let's say I only had WEF. And swap. Hey, what the hell? Come on. Okay, so let's say I had that amount of WEF. Like how I would do this is just swap half. So for example, let's just say you imagine you had 1,000 SLP, like over here. I would do like 500 and convert that into WEF for whatever amount it is, right? So you enter that amount and then you're going to put it into the pool, right? So you're going to come out with an SLP WEF liquidity pair. That's not enough. You have to put it into the farm. So yeah, because you have the SLP WEF pair over here, this is where you were going to put it, and then you stake it into this pool. So a couple of things that you need to understand before like investing in the liquidity pools is the impermanent loss, right? So this is basically like the simplest form of trying to understand this would be like initial price is when you fill this out, right? So initial price of token A, let's say SLP is at 0.18 right now, and then Ethereum is at $3,100, right? And then this is where you do the prediction, right? So for example, you imagine that SLP is going to be worth like 10 cents one day, and then Ethereum is going to be worth like 4,000 again one day, right? So this tells you you have an impermanent loss of 21.78%, which means if you just held $500, or let's say you held your tokens at the initial price, you would have this much, right? And then if you put it into the liquidity pool and then it goes to this price, it would be this much, right? So essentially I lost like $800 because I put the stuff into the pool. But this is supposed to be offset ideally by the rewards, which in this case is RON. So different pools have different sorts of rewards, different APRs. So like just like looking at the impermanent loss could be like your gauge. If you wanted to see like, okay, how much money am I actually risking if I predict that the token prices are going to be this much in the future, right? What you could also do is, give me a sec. Give me a sec. Might as well show this. Don't share my secrets, guys. Right. So, yeah. What I did was every time that I put in liquidity into the pool, I recorded it. So initially, right, like I put in November 7 at 0.07, so like 7 cents, almost 8 cents. And then I started putting in tranches as well at a lower value. So what this does is it reduces my DCA, which means it's like, kind of speaking, I have 137,000 SLP put in the pool at this amount. So, you know, basic like crypto trading, right? Like you always want to lower your DCA. So when you know at which point you're going to sell. So for example, I can input 0.0232 and 427,996 over here. And then whenever I feel that it's time for me to cash out, I just put it here. And then that's what'll give me my impermanent loss calculator. But yeah, at the same time, again, impermanent loss should always be countered by the token that you get. So like with that principle in mind, right? If you were farming RON and you calculated it, let's say 1 RON equals $1 and you only made like $5 and then your impermanent loss is like $10, right? You wouldn't want to pull out just yet. Like you probably would want to farm more and wait until the value goes up. But yeah, like that's just like a way of how you can see like the timing of when you should pull out your asset. So you're comparing the values of SLP with Ethereum and RON. So I imagine like it's a lot to understand. Right? Did I get you?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that one. And I think there's a lot of people also asking previously on how they can
Ooh,
earn
I'm
RON.
sorry.
Since I think it's really hype right now on Twitter, on Facebook that they're farming RON, and I think on February they're going to release. Am I right, or do I understand it wrong?
Yeah, it's the target date is Feb 2 because that's the 3 months from the 90 days from what is that, November 2 when they released the liquidity pools uh for farming RON. But on Twitter, Jihos has been hinting that it could come sooner. So yeah. Also, RON was already listed in FTX perpetual futures, which like in stupid people terms, and when I say stupid people, that's me because I don't really understand it. But like perpetual futures is like people betting on the price of RON. So like right now, I believe it's somewhere around like $4. So like whatever market that participates in the future, like perpetual futures, believe that RON is going to be around that value. I personally believe that it's the only realistic thing to let go of your RON would probably be when it overtakes AXS. Not if, but when. I really do think that I bet you guys are familiar with Luis Buenaventura. I read his stuff and he talks about like it does make sense what he mentioned before in one of his articles that the tokens under like the chain, right, can never be worth more than like the mother token. For example, if you were using MetaMask on the Ethereum chain, and Ethereum is the main mother token. None of the other tokens realistically should be worth more than whatever the value of Ethereum is. So applying that concept over here, I believe that if Ronin is the mother token, then it should be more expensive than AXS. So given that assumption, if I already saw that AXS could reach $160, pretty sure that Ron could be at least $200 one day. Right? Could be more. I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm not letting go of any of my Ron when it comes out. I think these people are stupid for predicting that Ron is going to be only worth $4. But I could be wrong. Could be super wrong. AXS could go to $1 for all I care. But yeah, that's the thing on that. So I hope you guys are farming Ron. It's going to be cool.
Actually, after you discussing it, I'm actually thinking of farming Ron, or maybe it's too late. Wait, I don't know if this is a question that I can ask, but normally how much percent do you do farm? Since as we're seeing here on the farm site, you can actually get the daily reward. I mean, is around 500,000 wrap Ron per day. So you take a percentage of that one, right? Depending on how much you have stake. Am I correct?
Yeah, huh? All right, let's go into that real quick. All right, so what you will want to look at over here is the analytics part. I am not the smartest person ever, but this is how I understand it, right? So if we look at the farm, you see that you get 555,000 W Ron or Wrap Ron a day, right? These are the rewards released every day that you put your money in. So if we look at the analytics here, you see the liquidity, like how much is actually in each of the liquidity pools. So right, there is the AXS with, the SLP with, and then I imagine eventually there's probably going to be something like USDC, SLP USDC, AXS USDC maybe. But what you really want to look at here is the liquidity, right? So whenever you're staking 2 tokens, what you want to check out is each token's propensity to follow each other, right? So if, for example, Ethereum spikes and SLP tanks, you're going to lose a lot of money. You want SLP and ETH to go in the same direction. You want them to proportionally pump, right? So that's not realistic, right? Like what we've seen so far, SLP has been going down a lot. What's more realistic is that AXS, once Ethereum picks up again and we're back in the bull market or whatever, AXS is also most likely going to pump with Ethereum. So that's why a lot more people have invested their money into the AXS liquidity pool, because in a sense, you're less hurting from the impermanent loss. It's like the less risky approach. If you wanted to invest your money and farm Ron, this is the way to go. Like if you were, just taking it easy, you don't want to think about the risk and stuff, you go AXS. And then of course, my route, the more degenerate route, is going for SLP. So in my head, whatever I put in here, I'm going to just absorb the impermanent loss, whatever. I'm not going to care about that. I just want Ron because I think that it's going to be worth so much one day, right? But the thing that you should consider here is that the 555,000 divided by this amount of money that's in there. So right, we learned in basic grade school math that if the denominator is smaller, the number is actually larger. So you take the just imagine the 555,000 W run a day for the AXS pool divided by the 352 million versus the same amount, 555,000 run divided by the 125 million. So you're going to see here that this is around almost times 3. So if you did put your money into the AXS pool and the SLP pool at the same time, you're going to see that you're earning 3 times more run if you put it in the SLP pool. Yeah, I mean, that's the basic principle of it. Like, you just get the 555,000 divided by like this amount, and then you see like how much run you could generate. I think that's the math behind it. But yeah, like basically, the larger amount of money you put into it, the more of the 555,000 you get. So maybe target like trying to farm 1 run a day. Seeing how much money you got to put in to get that. But you know, like, I don't think it's too late. I don't think that like if you were just going to start now, then oh no, what's going to happen? Because like this is going to go on for a while. Like, I mean, probably forever. Like, you could stake your SLP with, and they're only releasing the claiming of it on the 2nd. But like, I think that being able to farm run will always like just be there. So if you were thinking of doing that, go for it. Why not?
Okay, I have a question with that.
Sorry,
Magic.
give me like
Sorry,
give me like 5 seconds. I just need to take a leak.
Okay,
Be back. Sorry.
No problem.
Commercial break. All right, sorry, I'm back. I hope
Hi,
you didn't
Magic,
hear
welcome
any of
back.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. You said, was someone asking a question, or did you?
No.
Did you have?
I was just convinced with your sales talk, and I actually I'm about to farm run as well. Just right now.
Do it. No, but like, guys, NFA DYOR. Like, I'm just here to like give you guys options and make you guys understand like what's out there, right? Like, if anyone here, I'm doing a call out. If anyone here is a guild manager and you can't explain this stuff to your scholars, you're not doing your job. You should know everything like about what your scholars are like could invest their money in, you know, and like give them the avenue, give them the tools, make them understand. Like, don't tell them to don't tell them like, okay, your job here is to just play Axie and do your thing. But like, you know, like as a guild leader, as like a manager, you should know like what else your scholars or your adventurers or your guild mates could do with your money, right? So that's basically what I'm doing now, just sharing and like giving you guys the tools and information. But again, like all this degen investment is like going to be on you.
Okay, Magic. I think we can also help our new people here on our stream build their own lineup if you mind. We have three
Sorry.
can you also show us on how to make their own team, since I think there are few new people here on the stream, and I think some of them would actually buy their own team in the future. And I think what are the teams that you think is a good starting lineup for this season as well?
Oh, you mean like marketplace stuff?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Sure. We can do that. I hope the market cooperates. Um. Wow. Way to put me on the spot, bro. uh. Honestly, this is going to be tough. Number one, why I wouldn't recommend for like if you were just starting right now, right? Like you, let's say, oh, mommy gave me $500 and like, oh, it's time to spend it on Axie. Right now might not be the most amazing time to get because again, this what we experienced, the balancing we experienced is just um like a soft balancing. So they could still change it. And you might buy something thinking that, oh, they buffed Caterpillars to 170 and they buffed Timber, so I'm gonna go get those. It's not the best time to buy, right? But if you did want to degen in, could help you out. Let's see. Let's assume that this soft balancing is going to be permanent, right? And let's just assume that this would be this is what's going to happen in season 20. What I would look for, let's say, okay, first, maybe if you guys are new to the marketplace, so like this is the best way to use it, right? I guess filter out first what you want in a team. So 9 times out of 10, you'd probably want to start with a plan. Okay. Based on experience in these recent weeks that we've been onboarding people, I've received so many complaints. It's like my plant can't generate energy. Oh, I need Sirius. I need energy steel. My plant doesn't have enough shield, stuff like that. So, you might as well, if you're just starting, you might as well start yourself up with the basic Sirius. This is like if the most starter thing you could look for, right? And I do believe that Aquas will still play a role no matter like how much they get buffed, because you're going to have Aquas with like beast and bug parts, right? So I think the single best back part for the plant, like if you were going like just plant parts, is watering can. Like there's so many times you will be able to outplay your opponent with your plant, get the most value from it if you time the aqua stock right. And especially when you're climbing in around like moving from like 800 to maybe 1300 mmr, you will see a lot of double aqua lineups, even the purebred ones. So watering can, I believe, is the best purchase you should, the best back part you should purchase. I mean, it's for horns. I would. It's tough. It's a toss up between cactus and hotbutt for sure. Cactus and wood stab. But a lot of people are starting to use wood stab more now because cactus only has 20 shield, whereas wood stab has 40. So, like, I guess it would depend on the mid and backliner that you're going to get. But personally, I probably would lean more towards. Good question myself. Damn it. Probably for this build, I would go with wood stab. Right? And then for the tail part, if we were continuing to do plant, I mean, I guess right now the best option is potato leaf. Oh, right there, $77 for a basic, like, not much to think about Axie, pure plant, you probably could get something that's a little bit better with the genes and, maybe get to breed this out in the future. For a starter, basic plant, this wouldn't be the most horrible decision. You have, the energy gain, the energy steal, decent amount of shield if you look at it over here. And like this plant, I mean, unless you get unlucky and they draw like the double rimp, double nut combo in the first round or second round, this should stay alive for a while. So like for starters, this could be the way you go. If you went like a little bit more intermediate, you probably, if you didn't cry so much about energy steals, I do think like you can go with like just assuming, right, like that we were doing just plant parts. What is that mouth? Zigzag is always still, I mean, I think it's still cool. Or you can go with, our very favorite forest spirit. Like this could be something degen. If you didn't mind not having the energy steal, right? Zigzag could be a good option. Look at this guy, forest spirit for 170, doing it right. Like this could be like a little bit more. If you had a little bit more experience, you don't really need that energy steal in the early game or whatever. Probably be more effective around 1400 to 1600, I guess. Build like this. Like if we were going pure plants, this would be the way to go. If we did go like extremely degen, I think the best plant right now would have to be like for the current meta and everything too. If you could manage to pull this off, this is probably arguably the best plant right now. Yup. All right, so you have again, you have wood stab or beach, decent shield. If your shield gets broken, you do more damage. Cattail to fend off. Like, I mean, I think in my opinion, cattail is the only S tier plant tail. I've been saying this since season 16, season 17. The cattail is just like broken in my opinion. Card draw is such an important thing in the game, and when you know that plants are always going to be smacked in by beast or bug cards because like your opponent wants to get rid of your plant as soon as possible, cattail is just extremely invaluable. Like being able to draw multiple cards, adding to the 3 cards that you draw every round is just insane. If you like, even if like, imagine if you got to time it where you played all your cards and then you played 2 cattails and then your opponent just went crazy with like trying to discard your hand. Like that would be just insane. So cattail definitely is the only S tier plant tail in my opinion. And then you have the tempo control with the Goda. Goda is actually, I think, like it's balanced, but I also think it's kind of overpowered. Being able to like just flat out destroy your opponent's energy without having to combo it with another card. 80 damage, which converts to around 90 against plants, dusks, and reptiles. And then you have the 40 shield. Goda is a very, very, very good card. And then you just have the sandal for like insane damage, especially against bugs. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you do like anywhere from like 150 to 160 to a bug. And you do like 25 to plus reptiles. So Bug Splat is, in my opinion, the best bug back card. Better than Scarab, better than what's that other one? Buzz. Better than Garish. I think that Sandal for 110 damage, extra 50% damage when attacking bugs, and the 50 shield, you can't go wrong. So if you were just gonna ape in and go crazy with a plant right now, I think this is the #1 plant that you want to get. All right, moving on. Um, wow, what a steal! $61. Someone buy this right now. Oh, it's already been bought. What a steal! Look at this Scarab Curse. That's not bad. Um, all right. For me, if you were just starting, to any scholar out there, like I think that the plant beast bird is still like the number one starter. Uh, you would want to go with, like, let's say we're talking about beasts, right? You'd want to go with the basic Ronin imp nut, like nut.
Magic, sorry to cut you off here.
Yeah.
What do you call this? If
Am I
recently
going
just
too
got
basic?
buffed, right? It was boost up to 90 damage. Previously it was
I'm
boost up to
sorry.
80 damage. What do you call this? Imp was buffed once again. Do you think it was a proper buff, or do you think it's kind of leading the people to build the go lead people back to their donut imp beast or mechs?
Possibly, but like honestly, I don't think Imp needs like a damage buff anymore. Like if anything, it's just extra damage. But like if you ran like Ronin Imp double nut, you pretty much destroy like any plant, right? Like especially if they don't put up any shield. So like in my opinion, like that's not that much of a game changer. It could be, but like it just affirms that this build since the beginning of time, this has been like the best starter build for a lot of people. So yeah, I will always say that this is like probably one of the coolest things you could invest in as a beginner because um, it's just for the fact that it's been there since the start, and you will still see plant beast bird lineups even in the higher MMRs. So you have the imp which generates energy, so you could like go insane with like going with Imp and Ronin and your other Nutcrack cards, and then doing the same thing again in the next round with your bird or your plant, right? Because you're able to generate energy from this skill. Then you have the Nutcrackers. These do, if I'm not mistaken, like 163, 165 if you combo them with each other. But also take note, it says deal 120% damage when comboed with another Nutcracker card. Um, you have to know that Nutcracker is the name of the skill. So you could combo like two Nutcracks or two Nut Throws, and then they still do the 120% damage. Like some new people might not understand that. So yeah, very invaluable. Drawing, pretty much four cards in the first cycle of your deck that can deal that much damage is, yeah, pretty insane. So a little bit of an upgrade, you probably would want to go in the stats part, right? Filter this up to 45 speed, giving you like aqua or bird eyes and ears. So this is the little bit of an upgrade, right? At 45 speed, you're guaranteed to be fast, like at par with base mechs like this one. So 45 speed, all beast parts, or like these dusks, right? Base dusks with like beast and reptile parts. So just in case you don't know, beast and reptile parts give the same amount of speed for like as a part. So like if you're looking at this, like what makes it faster, they're the same, right? So you want something like this. Like this is the little bit of an upgraded version of the typical double nut Ronin imp beast. If you could get something like that with sleepless, with aqua or bird eyes and ears to give them more speed. The more upgraded version of that is if you chose the mech, which right now is the big bad brother of the beast. I believe if you had, you could filter this all the way up to 49. Did I get that right? Or 51? Yeah. 49 speed is the absolute highest that a mech can get with aqua or bird eyes and ears. So like this is the absolute highest upgrade you can get. Fastest beast, midliner beast with yeah, the damage, the skill calculation of the mech. So there you go. Other variants would probably be, so like, right, we're going into the how do you say this? Like the more degen builds of a mech, right? So we want to use a mech because we know skill calculation wasn't really made so, like, they didn't nerf it so bad. So we could still argue that this is the thing. I think that the best one that you can get is the one with Arco, Hair Dagger, Hero, and like either Goda or Axie Kiss. Like a lot of people would tell you that you could just like go straight degen and buy the god mech with like the juggling balls and the twin tail, but like that that build with the current skill calculation and everything, that stuff is just asking for a nerf in season 20. It's asking for a nerf, and then if they don't do it in season 21, and you're better off going for something like this, which could last you a little bit longer. The thing with this is that Hair Dagger did get nerfed like pretty hard. I believe it's like 20 stats lost. Hair Dagger now does 115. It used to do 120. And before it had 30 shield, now it has 20 shield. So it lost like 15 in stats. But still, like they did not change the draw mechanic of it, so you could still speed up and then smack in with the Hair Dagger in the next round. Gameplay is essentially the same, so I would still think that this is the better purchase versus like the backdoor ones, the God Mech ones. Like if you wanted the best value for money, I think this is the way to go. Either the Goda or the Axie Kiss variant could be great, but again, if you wanted to add extra degen points, you want to go with 49 speed. What? Oh, sorry. I put it at 50. Let's put it at 49 speed. Yeah. This is the absolute top tier you can get, and it's not bad. Look, it's like 158, right? Yeah, this should have the eyes and ears. Although like if you wanted to be extra meticulous with it, I would suggest that you look for both aqua eyes and ears. It's going to give you more health with the same amount of speed. Let's try to spot one. So health for this is 31. Looking for something with 33. None on the floor. But that's like, there's just extra degen parts. But yeah, if you were to get one with 31 health or 32 health, as long as it has 49 speed, this is the most upgraded version of the beast you can get. So you could run this or the really fast double nut Ronin beast, right? And then for the bird. There's no bird that makes sense to me if they don't have egg bomb. Like no other bird makes sense in my opinion. The outplay that you have with egg bomb, like even if they nerf it, like you're not looking at egg bomb for the damage anyway. You're looking at other skills. So to me, just the fact that you're able to pull your opponent away when your beast is about to die, and then you get to, sack your bird, let your opponent waste their energy. Um, I remember before in the early off season of season 18, I was running a bird, and that was the time that poison lineups were like all the rage, right? And just like the fact that I was able to use my bird to divert two four bursts from the poison midliner and the backliner was just extremely invaluable. So if you're gonna follow me, again, birds that don't have egg bomb don't make any sense, right? The not so bad one. I mean, let's say we still went with the dark swoop, right? This is this is still viable in my opinion.
Magic.
Some people,
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry to cut you off. While we're on this bird that you're making with the dark soup, there's a question actually on the English voice text. So, what's your take towards the dark soup nerf on the dark soup?
Um, I think that the dark swoop thing doesn't matter. I think more people are mad about like the egg bomb because like um the 10 damage from the dark swoop, if you did dark swoop, um egg bomb, blackmail. Did I get that right? Big egg, yeah, blackmail. I think you should be able to kill the unshielded aqua. Could be wrong. But like, like dark swoop, they could make that 0 damage for all I care, right? Like you're not getting the damage from that card anyway. So like reducing its damage isn't really a big thing. I think that they were able to counter that by giving other parts higher damage. For example, Ill Omen or Raven, like this one. Used to do 110, now does 120. So now there are more options for you to use. Like if you weren't going to run the egg for whatever reason, you just have to make sure that your back part and your tail part are both 120, 130, 150 damage cards. So that for me that takes away, like if you still wanted the swoop per bird, you would just have to have something like early bird or risky feather, right? Yeah, honestly, this stuff was broken anyway, so it was asking for a fix. My personal opinion, I could care less about the dark swoop thing, because if you had this one, I don't know why more people have early bird. The 120% damage if this Axie attacks last. I believe this is like 151, 153 damage to an aqua, and like even more to like beasts and bugs. So I think like the game just wanted us to buy more of these back parts. Yeah, Swallow is like in my opinion the best bird tail. Although like it depends, because like if you wanted just a straight up damage card, right? Like at this point, whatever 100 plus damage back part you could get. So I mean, you could run Kingfisher, right? This is 130 off the bat. So see, in my opinion, if you were running a bird like this to begin with, like you wouldn't care if they nerfed the dark swoop to like 10 damage, because you still get like whatever damage you would have gotten off that dark swoop from Swallow and Kingfisher. I believe these are the highest. This is like the highest damage bird, like straight up, you can get if you didn't have the combos. So keep in mind this one bird. We have Dark Swoop, Egg Bomb, Kingfisher, and Swallow. So for the plant beast bird that you might want to make, right? You have, so since this is a bird, right? You have to do 61 speed. There's no other option. If you get anything with less than 61 speed, you're throwing away your money. Make sure that it's a pure bird with all bird parts. You would be able to achieve this if the bird had aqua parts, I believe. None of that, and right here, 61 speed still with 2 aqua parts. Um, but yeah, you ideally you want 100% purity on this one. Where is that? Purity. Yeah, 100%. 6 parts, all bird. There you go. So you want the lowest health, the highest speed, and I mean, the lowest serial number. If we look at this guy, wow. Hey guys, buy this. Look at this. 3 breed printer. 190. So this, all right. So this is like one version of the bird you can get, right? Another version. Where's that reset? Would be, say you didn't want to go with the dark swoop, right? You didn't want something that you didn't need the swoop combo. You could also go with what's that called? Sorry, so we want a bird, right? We want it with maximum purity. We want it with yeah, that's probably gonna put it 61 speed. You could go with the this is I'm seeing more often in the higher tiers. What's that called? Right, so triple threat is a pretty useful card. So you get the attack twice if this Axie has any debuffs, and Risky Feather applies attack 2 attack minus to this Axie. So your next attack is going to do 40% less damage. But if you do Risky Feather and Tri Feather, the first shot that this takes gets rid of the 2 attack minus, and then it's gonna do another full 40. So I believe this still does around like what 80-90 damage for 0 energy. So this is a pretty sick combo that I see a lot of, and I like it. It gives the bird a 0 cost without having the post, so you're not forced to try to kill your bird straight up. And if you use it with the egg bomb, it still gives you that option of sacking your bird with the chance of surviving the next round. So you probably could go, I mean, at this point, Hungry Bird, Peacemaker, these are pretty much like the same thing. But best, in my opinion, would have to be still Peacemaker. I don't know why the people didn't ape into Peacemaker. They rather go for double block. And like in previous, I think Peacemaker is the sickest bird card ever. The attack minus 120 damage, 30 shield for a mouth card. I think it's absolutely insane. So yeah, this could be another version that you get. And then if you didn't want the Tri-Feather, if you wanted more of like a disable one, not going for more damage, you could go with the Balloon Pop. So there you go. This one's yeah, you get the 0 cost, you get the fear off, and then you get the attack minus. So like this is just like a super disabler bird. Other people run this with Hair Dagger, but Hair Dagger got nerfed. But then again, it's not going to be a pure anymore. So yeah, I think I would personally go either one of these, like either the Tri-Feather or the Balloon. Oof, pretty expensive though. Yeah, so you got these birds for the absolute degen ones. The beast with the mech with the Arco, Hair Dagger, Axikiss or Goda, and Hero for the mid, and then the plant with the Goda and the sandal and the cattail and the wood stab for the front. That's you were just starting now and you absolutely wanted to spend all your money, go buy those 3 axes. You could hit the leaderboards during the off season of that team. Did I get you?
Yes, Magic. Thank you so much for sharing that one. I think a BBP lineup or BMP lineup is really still good. It takes time to get used to it, but once you get used to it, it's actually really effective against any lineups that you are up against with. There's also a question here, Magic. You like your bird. You like a 100% pure bird, right? But they're asking if Sneaky Raid is a good replacement for Dark Soup if ever. But that would make your bird go down to 59 speed. Would that be a good trade off or no?
I mean, I see it happen. I see it happen. So, I mean, I'm not so against it. Also, Sneaky Raid gives you a little bit of shield too. So, it's also not a bad choice. Let's search that up real quick. So, that was Egg Bomb, what was that tail? Early Bird, Dark Swoop, right? Oh, sorry. Sneaky Raid. Right. I think there are a lot of these guys on. And the back part. I mean, you could do Blackmail too if you wanted to. But I would still go Kingfisher as like just a high DPS card. It doesn't even exist. See, I'm so amazing. I discovered this shit, but it doesn't even exist. But yeah, this would be like super sick too. You might as well go with the Blackmail since there's a lot of it. Cupid, not bad. 120 damage, 30 shield, I believe. Yeah, I like this. Heartbreak. Also, you get to prevent like beasts and bugs from doing last stand, so it could be cool too. Also like Ill Omen now got a buff from 110 to 120. So yeah, these two could make it. High shield bird. But yeah, always just get the egg bomb. There's no other head part that makes sense. Trust me.
All right, Magic. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge on the marketplace, and I hope the people here on this stream
Sure.
actually listen up and try to grab one of these lineups eventually.
You're
in the
probably gonna
future.
start buying now.
Yeah, I think they are looking right now.
Would you mind if you check my build?
Sorry. Can you
Sorry, underrated.
ask
Can you?
anything?
Uh, if you want to check my build on a team, Sweep Escape, Arco, Risky, maybe Lam or Piranha.
Sorry. Sorry. Do you mind wanna just type it? I can't really hear you.
Where, sir?
Yeah, I think you got you wanna check your team?
Can I DM you, sir?
Damn. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
He was asking you, Magic, if he can message you maybe after the stream or what to have his team rated, maybe.
Yeah, I just charge 0.5 ETH and then I can do whatever you want. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, sure, reach out. Or no, yeah, might as well.
Okay.
Sure.
Magic, do you have any announcements? What are the things that you are looking forward for Axie? They have a lot of things going to their pipeline right now, and a lot of things they have announced recently, like the builders, Ron, land. There's a lot of things going on for Axie right now, and I think I just want to ask you on what feature you are most anticipating. What are the most features? The features you are anticipating the most, and what are your takes on those following things?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it was like the middle of the night when I got that ping from Jiho saying the builders thing. I didn't really read it. I just saw sign up now, and then I started applying, and then I realized, oh, you need to know how to use the computer to do this. So, unfortunately, I don't have any like builder, IT, whatever experience, but I would have loved to be able to do something like that, like develop a game, like to add to Axie, you know. That would have been like super cool. So for you guys that like could do it, I suggest you do. They give you grants for it. I think they pay you, and you might get like part of the game fees as like a form of payment. I don't know, but yeah, that's something that for you guys that know how to do it, I look forward to seeing what that brings out. Um, Honestly, I was talking with Fear the other day about land play, and like I'm not a game dev, but like how he explained it was like he like if you start making something from 2D into 3D, it's not just like you put a layer of something over the 2D and then it becomes 3D. It's like you start from scratch, absolute scratch. So yeah, they have a bigger team and everything, but like we're probably going to see land by like the end of the year. So that I mean, I am looking forward to it, but like, come on, you told us this was gonna come like early this year, so like, but you know when you're like super hungry and then you just aren't able to eat and then you just lose your appetite. Like that's how I feel with land. It's like, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, like whatever. So that's my thought on land play. Um, V3, like when I read the what do you call that? The announcement or the Substack, it's like it we were being teased that it's going to come really soon. Like Saikao was saying stuff like that. There's no point in like bringing on board new members. Origins is coming soon, and then in the announcement they said like it's going to come in the next few months. So like, what's really happening, right? So I kind of feel the same way about V3. I mean, I was hoping that we probably get that before the RON release, or we probably get that in February. But with the way things are going, it's probably going to be like March, April, maybe. So yeah, I am looking forward to it, but not looking forward to seeing it within like this month or next, right? What else is up there? I mean, land play is going to bring about like a different dynamic to the game. It's going to bring out new resources, I'm imagining. And possibly more of like an integration of like a multiplayer system, right? A co-op system. You know, I think part of the reason why, you know, Axie's fun and competitive and everything, but a reason why it's not sticking as much is because you can't really play with your friends, right? The only time you play with your friends if you match with them in the arena and you're playing against them. So I mean, I think that I'm looking forward to like land play having some sort of co-op aspect. Maybe even V3, I don't know, like Origins, maybe that has a co-op aspect as well. But if they can, you know, have something like that, if I can sit down every night, you know, just like crack a beer open, you know, just go on Discord and play with the boys, you know, bounce around and, you know, I don't know, shoot down other axes or like, you know, explore an MMO type or like something like that. You know, I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most if they ever consider doing that. What else? I mean, generally for just the economy to pick up, you know, we do need something, like something to get people excited. This was a good step, the releasing. You know, I'm sure like we're going to reach like 100,000 at least burned, and it might encourage breeders to come back in because like right now, instead of putting like a mutated Axie that you accidentally bred into like the market, try to sell it back. Now you could possibly like just keep on releasing your floor axes, and what that does, if it works out the way I imagine it, is that like you won't see floor axes anymore. Like no one would wanna um like list those like mutated ones, and everyone who breeds will just like try to accumulate like I don't know land items, or like if in the future, after this Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year event, and then they continue it with another release journey mechanism with another theme, or like for like future land items or future resources, maybe even AXS, maybe even RON. If that continues, that aspect continues, we won't see floor axes anymore. People will be just like listing like competitive axes wants to flip, or trying to breed their own farm. I think that's the way that the uh like the economy would get back up. So people stop listing these garbage axes on the floor, and people just buy back what they want for a farm. But again, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. There's so many axes right now in the marketplace, and I think most of them are mutated ones. And one of the things, the only burning mechanic of axis right now for the SLP is through breeding. And I think due to the mid-season nerfs for the meta lineups, I think it kind of scared of some of the people breeding and exploring for a really cool lineup right now. And yeah, I do definitely agree with you that we need more of those things, more of mechanics in able for us to bounce back the community for the SLP. I don't want to cut you off guard right now, Magic, but do you have any ideas in your mind that could actually help burn SLP or something similar to that? Do you have anything on mind on what we can do with those floor axes that is just really used for 40 energy or 60 energy, but aside from that, it's really just there to sit down on your inventory? Do you think there could be a few other features that can utilize those floor axes, since yeah, like you have mentioned, there's actually no reasons to list those floor axes anymore aside from these kinds of events like the lunar ones?
I mean, like, what determines what floor or mutated or unusable axes are, how the devs manage their the balancing, right? So I mean, how many times have we looked in our inventory, like if for those of you with like a lot of axes, you thought this was unplayable before, and then now it makes sense to play. So like with that regard, like I think that eventually if we continue with this like just equalizing a lot of the parts, if nothing's broken anymore, I don't think there's going to be a floor. But with like SLP burn mechanics, I mean, honestly, I think that this is a good step. um I mean, like if you look at it, right, if with the current prices of SLP, I think I read one article written by like Darth Vader or something like that. Um, yeah, I just saw it on Twitter that Jiho's uh, shared, and he was like, it costs $67 right now to breed an Axie, and then if you did three of those, like 180, 190, what is that? $191. Did I get that right? No, whatever. 3 times 67, um however many that is, and then these three axes will be given to someone, and they can farm SLP for a lifetime, right? Even if they get to 800 MMR and they stop earning from that, um you essentially these three axes will be able to mint SLP for until the person dies. So like number one, I do agree with that statement where uh PvE rewards should be removed, because at a certain point, like I think that I mean, it sure, it hurts everyone who isn't super competitive with Axie and everything, but removing rewards from the PvE kind of makes minting SLP more scarce, because like I believe it's like 60 or 70% of SLP minted actually comes from the adventure mode. So if you're able to remove like a chunk of that, and like bot farms aren't like profitable anymore, then people are going to want to I mean, it's going to slow down definitely like the minting of SLP, right? And then how do you counter that? Like if you give like stretch out the AXS rewards from just the top 1,000 players into, I don't know, maybe the top 100,000, top 500,000, uh, you know, that could encourage more people to participate in the arena more and not just like mindlessly do the adventure mode. So like it's a lot of a couple things that the devs could do, which I don't think is impossible, right? So like they could just flick a switch and change the mechanic in V3 when they release it. So SLP, like that's how like the burning mechanism will work, by limiting the amount that you mint from it. I think it's over minted. If this trend continues, like with the rate of burning, but you're able to curb the amount that's minted, I think that's the way to go. Sure, a lot of scholars are going to hate me for saying it, but I mean, if you wanted to play in a game where SLP that you farm is worth like half a cent, I get that, yeah, like half a cent, right? Like then this thing could just continue forever and ever. But unless there are like ways to curb the minting again, I think that that's a better solution than finding ways to burn SLP. It's very limited. I mean, unless there's new utility introduced to, like aside from breeding, you could do something else with SLP. Feed it to your axes. The part upgrades, I really like that idea too. Like burn SLP and upgrade your axes parts. But yeah, aside from that, like I think it's more about controlling really like the rate that it's minted versus like trying to force people to burn the SLP.
Yeah, Magic. I actually agree with you on that. And honestly, I'm having thoughts on the burning mechanic. I think the reason why Axie is having a hard time of looking for a burn mechanic is because most of our player base are scholars, and those scholars wouldn't burn their SLP for an account that for an account that isn't even theirs, right? So maybe probably a burn mechanic for managers would be better, and maybe for the PBE, once they remove the SLP rewards, maybe it could be converted to something else, like a PBE reward only that doesn't equate to any token, that you can actually customize your account without thinking of losing potential income, right? I think that's one of the things that's bugging my mind on this topic. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, Magic. Sorry for for keeping you so long right now. I think we have what do you call this? We have exhausted a lot of your time for tonight. Do you have anything else as a parting message for everyone? And also, if you want to share your social media accounts, would you mind sharing them as well, so people here can actually follow you and ask you questions about it, maybe outside the stream. Magic, I think your camera hang. Wait, hold on. Hello. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You froze. But your axes are still moving out. Magic. Yeah, actually, yeah, I do agree with Kate. This was a different kind of bootcamp we had, but we learned so much from it, from all the perspectives of Axie, not just from the gameplay. And I want to thank Magic on this one. Can Magic hear me? No, we can no. Ah, okay. Hmm. How do I fix that? But your screen is moving actually. It's just your mic, I guess, and your camera. Just a bit of technical difficulties, everyone. We're still going to have two giveaways for our viewers. The mechanics will actually be determined by Magic once we fix the following technical difficulties. So the giveaway will be composed of YGG mug, YGG sling bag, and YGG cap. Hold on, let us wait for Magic. I think this is a Discord issue.
Hello?
There you go. Welcome back, Magic.
Sorry about that. Hi, yeah, yeah, sorry, I was like trying to figure out why you're talking. Uh, yeah, like, sorry, you wanted to do something? Like, you were asking me something, right?
Yeah, Magic. I was actually asking if you have any farewell message to our community. I know the bootcamp right now was kind of different, but I think a lot of people learned from tonight's bootcamp on all of the aspects of Axie Infinity, from farming, from their gameplay management, and from going to marketplace. Do you have any other message that we have for our community?
Yeah. Um, Not really. I mean, I hope you guys stay around. Like I mean, I will always say it, those of you, in the scholarship programs that stuck around with whatever group you're with and like didn't give up on the game. I hope you do continue to stay. It's a great space. I personally um really grew to love the community, right? Just like surrounding yourself with like positive people and like just you continuously building, continuously adding value to the community. Um, so yeah, for those of you guys that are scholars right now, like thank you from like a manager's perspective. If your manager doesn't tell you enough, uh, I mean, I'm gonna say it on behalf of all of us. Thank you for sticking around and believing in the game. I do not guarantee you that SLP prices are ever going to get any better. They could just keep on getting worse. But there's going to be way more in store for you guys. I mean, for us all, right? That want to stick around and fight through this bear market. I mean, it just takes SLP to come back to, like 10 cents, 20 cents, and then all your friends who started quitting and losing faith in the game are going to be begging you for accounts. So, I mean, I'm waiting for that day to happen too when, I can tell all the scholars that quit like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We don't give accounts to quitters anymore." But yeah, I mean, thank you for to the scholars, to the members of the community that decided to stay. I hope um we continue building, keep learning, keep researching, stay on Twitter, honestly, like follow the right people. Follow me, I'm smart as shit. No, but um but yeah, like I mean, much of the discussion happens on there, I guess. And like if you keep yourself involved and keep yourself active, you don't even have to worry about playing the game so much. There's so many artists, so many like music people, dancers and stuff that like just, bring the community together and you don't have to be a player. Like look at Axie Lima. I don't think that guy plays the game, but he just likes to dance. And he's like right there, right? He's part of the community. So, yeah, stick around. Thank you for having faith in the community and just continue to have fun, I guess. Yeah. Follow me
Thank
on Twitter, guys. I'm
I'll
just
drop down
kidding.
your Twitter later on the voice text. Thank you so much, Magic. So Thank you for that really inspiring message. And I really know a lot of people have. I know some of my friends have already quit because they lost hope on SLP. But yeah, I do agree with you that we just need to stay strong and just believe. And I know definitely it's gonna be rewarded eventually. Don't quote me on this one, but yeah, I do agree on that. On with you with on that one. Magic, if you don't mind, can you
Yeah.
help us determine the mechanics for our giveaway for our viewers who have stayed until the very end of our bootcamp for tonight? You can do a quiz, a bring me a game or anything, or just even let them follow or tweet you something.
Oh, that's tough. Hmm. uh, can Sedano help me out with this? Or is it like just really up to me?
I think Sigdano can help. Hi, Sir Sigdano. I think he already
No,
there.
I think a good idea, Magic, would be um, you could probably ask people to retweet you or follow you, and then like first whoever shows up, gets a prize. Or maybe you could do a tweet, or something.
Cool. Yeah, I guess. Um, I can't think of anything, man. How about we do?
What do we usually what do our guests usually do, Misil, for
Yeah,
for the
I usually
bring me?
yeah,
I've
they do
always
bring me
loved the bring
because
me games.
it's really funny and it's really interactive. And a lot of people
What's
in
bring me?
our
What's
chat
bring
is
me?
date example, I ask the audience to bring me a selfie with a mouse, and they need to send that one on the English voice text, and the first one to send it wins. So
Okay.
it's something like
Okay.
that. It's
Cool.
actually fun. So you get to decide whatever they need to bring. Last time the Archer actually asked our audience to bring a picture of their ex. Something like that.
Hmm. What do you guys have?
While Magic is thinking, we are going to give away two YGG cap, YGG mug, and YGG sling bag to the lucky winners. I'll be messaging you guys if you ever win this one. So let's just wait for Magic to determine what is the mechanics for this one. And good luck to everyone, guys.
Oh. I want to see. Bring me a picture of your pet.
Oh, that's nice.
Is
Go,
that a
guys.
And then Sedano gets to choose which pet is the cutest. Sorry for those of you that don't have pets.
Yeah, maybe we can we could do the first person would be the cutest, and then yeah, we could
You
the next
pet
one
a
could be the first
cockroach.
one to post. So is it okay that it's a photo from their phones or something that 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 isn't taken
Yeah,
by a
what is? I mean, like, can you do like old pictures? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it actually depends on you. If it's okay with you, I think it is okay. Just make sure that they didn't just copy pasted it from somewhere
Yeah, I
else.
mean, just don't send pictures of cockroaches and rats, though. This is one.
Let's go.
Go, guys. Send here on the English voice text, guys.
No way! What a cute cat. Can Steffi win though? And you not allowed?
I think she wants the sling bag though.
Even has a bandana.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Ah.
Doesn't it have to be a photo of them and the pet?
Yeah, it
So
should
it's
be.
something-
Yeah,
Yeah, it had the first. Yeah, that's you and the pet.
Yeah, because you can just get any picture of some
Yeah.
dog on Google, right? Yeah, it's got to be like a selfie with the pet. But that's so cute, though. Look at that cat. There you go.
There you go.
Risutu. Winner.
Oh
That's
no, Giyu.
disgusting.
Okay, we have one winner now, and what's the next thing that we need to bring, Magic?
Look at that. Look at that. Hmm. Dang, whoever said the X thing was brilliant. I can't top that.
Yeah, that's really hard. But someone posted their
Yeah,
X.
damn, this is hard.
How about a photo of them with maybe their parents with Axie Infinity open, like on the phone. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I can do it, I guess.
We can
Or
do
your
that.
or your parent, yeah, or your parent holding Axie Infinity. A photo of your parent. What do you think?
Yeah. How about that? Like yeah. You gotta show your team.
Time to wake up your parents, guys.
Oh shit! No, yeah, don't do that. It's isn't it late? No. Change that last one. um. Dang, what do we got? How
about-
about
no,
this?
I know.
Go
Grab
go
an
for
idea.
it.
How about first one to bring a photo, a selfie, showing your Axie team with your refrigerator open, or no, not open, but yeah, closed with your refrigerator. So refrigerator plus Axie team. Okay, go.
You guys.
Dude, what if they don't have a ref?
What if they only have one phone?
That's the challenge.
You guys can do it.
Yeah, you can probably no, you probably can borrow your your cousin, your brother, your sister's phone.
Go to your neighbor or something.
Yeah, that's gonna be challenging because you have to open your Axie team on your phone and then have a selfie taken and then sent to you and then send it to Discord. I don't take a picture of my own phone. When you need big budget to join a giveaway.
You might need to change that, bro.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Got it.
Good job. Congrats to Boring and Resuta for winning the giveaway for tonight's bootcamp session. I'll be sending you a message after this session, and yeah, just fill it out and make sure that you fill out with your correct information. And again, once again, Magic, thank you so much for sharing your time, expertise, and knowledge about Axie Infinity. And even outside the Axie gameplay itself, we really did learn a lot of things. And you actually convinced me to stick, even though Gio is actually preventing me for strategy. So thank you so much, and I hope we have you back soon, Magic. I think you're going to be back, and I'm really excited for your next session, even if you just finished for tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, just real quick. Oh yeah, Magic, right? You do have some scholarships to give away at time. So make sure everyone follows Magic on Twitter and also on Twitch. So if you guys have friends who still don't have scholarships and want to try out the game, yeah, make sure to follow Magic.
Yeah, sure, why not? Let's give away those scholarships.
Okay.
Right, awesome.
Alright, awesome guys.
Thanks, guys.
Good night everyone, and see you on our next bootcamp this coming Monday. Good night and
Right,
goodbye.
bye.
Thanks,
night.
everyone. Was a pleasure. Was a pleasure. Ugh, damn, that was fuck. We went like 2.5 hours, bro. But dang, thank you, everyone. It was great. It was great. Yeah. It's your boy D.